from Russell Simone, we started to shoot Casper in Your Vest, and then it developed to a thing. It was like, actually, let's make this thing. And then so it became Defining Dennis until 2017.
Also, you being a part of YouTube Black Class of 2022, congratulations, by the way. That's an enormous achievement.
Thank you so much.
But coming to the whole defining YouTube channel, right? And we've learned a little bit about like where you started. And I think from my perspective, it seems as though where things really started to heat up a lot for you and what was sort of like a pivot in your career was the success of the Defining YouTube channel. So I wanted to find out from you, like you did mention a little bit about how you would work with Zanele. I know Dennis is someone who's very involved in the Defining YouTube channel, and then also Noma.
Yeah.
So I want to find out from you, like, where did you guys meet? Like, how did that like trio, how did that trio get formed, and how did all of that start? Whose idea was it? Was it everyone's like tell me more, I want to know, the people want to know.
The nice thing about life, it's like it's a cycle, like it never ceases to amaze you every single time. So by the time we were training Zanele from Zanti Insider, he had like a couple of guests there, and it turned out that one of the guests was Dennis Ngango. And he was coming in to be interviewed on the YouTube show, and I don't think like the footage ever came out. I remember the footage was just for Zanet to practice and all that, and I kept on doing these stupid things on like trying to practice the in-ear situation to say, hey Zanele, change from camera 1 to camera 2, like just those quick things. And then when Dennis came along, and he was like, listen, this guy, who are you? And let's work together. I was like, listen, what do you mean work together? What do you do? Like, yeah, no, I have my own YouTube channel. It's called Defining Dennis. And he was like, no, I have an interview with DJ Fresh, and I would like a videographer to come through. I'm like, DJ Fresh? I've always wanted to meet that guy. Listen, let's make it work. And then the interview never happened. But the amazing thing is that Russell Simone from the US was the first guest that we shot. And then from there, from Russell Simone, we started to shoot Casper in Your Vest. And then it developed to a thing. It was like, actually, let's make this thing. And then so it became Defining Dennis until 2017. 2017, I think that was the biggest turnaround. And like 2017, I remember Dennis saying like, hey man, like we've got this thing, we were on like 1,000 subscribers, and then it's like now it was evolving around Dennis at that time. He was like, no man, I feel like we can share this with a lot of more people than just me evolving around my life. Like I feel like there's more to this channel than what it is. I was like, I feel you, but what could be the next thing that we do? And then we had all these people like chipping in on Defining, and then eventually there was Norma. Norma was a big fan of Defining at that time. So Norma was going to church with Dennis. And then Norma approached Dennis, and then they became friends eventually. And then they brought Norma on the set. I remember the first video was politics. I was not there on the shoot. And then the second one was on closer to Valentine's Day. That's when I officially met Norma. She was there on time. Dennis was late. And Norma was like running things, and I'm like, this girl, like she's got like this driving
producer,
thing,
my producer.
Yeah, and then I was like, we definitely need someone like this. And then Dennis was like, she's perfect, like she fits everything, like because now as much as there's two guys, sometimes like we have a lot in common in terms of like different backgrounds. When we come together, like we make things work. But we needed a woman who can say, we're not just going to make things work, we're going to tell stories. And then that's when Defining Love came into picture. We were supposed to do a 1-minute video. We invited all these cool couples to come through. I was one of the couple that came through. And I was like,
a veteran.
Exactly. And then we developed the whole thing of like, yeah, this is the 1-minute video. But after that, we sat down because that was the first time meeting the three of us. And we sat down and we were actually discussing how was the shoot, And we still even do that today, like try to like analyze whether was the shoot fruitful, did we get the right content, did we actually come out with what we want, right? And then what we discovered is that there was a polyamorous couple that was there. And when we sat down, we were like, that's a very interesting couple. I actually want to learn more about it because that was the first time even hearing the word polyamorous. I'm like, what the heck is polyamorous? Even going to Google at that time, like, oh, flip, wait. So does that mean they're in an open relationship situation? Wait, how does the whole thing work? Do you understand? And at that time, you're asking not to judge, you're asking to learn about this kind of relationship. And that's where the whole defining love began, like learning about all these different relationships without judging, but learning from the story that people are telling to say, hey, I've got this love and it's my love. And that's how I define love. That's why, like, we can never say, hey, what is your definition of love? The fact that you see in that story, like that is love right there. That's what you see. At that time, that's how people define their love. And we are not there to judge. We're there to tell the story, to say, there's people who define love like this. Unlike me, I have my own way of defining love. There's someone out there who believes in polyamorous relationship. There's people who believe in multiple partners. It's still their way of how they define love. That's how it works. And that's why the whole thing was so interesting. And that's why it became what it is.